So coming into this WrestleMania, I mean, after last year's Mania with you and Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship, and just sort of where your career went from there to where you're at now with being back on Monday Night Raw, now heading into WrestleMania, how has that like stop start momentum kind of been working for you?
It's definitely been a learning year. Last WrestleMania, like I learned a lot from being in that match, and I wouldn't take back anything that happened. And then the road that I took after WrestleMania, I went through like speed bumps and ups and downs and everything. I like character wise, I didn't know what I was doing. Personally wise, I didn't know what I was doing. But it's all part of the game pretty much. And I feel like I've learned so much from being in those situations. And I honestly wouldn't change anything, even though, yeah, like it did hinder me a bit. I feel like the things that happen after Mania, I feel like I've built myself back up and I'm finally ready to like take out the competition again. And I'm so stoked to see how far I've come in a year, not only in wrestling, but as a human as well. Cause I'm only like 24. So I'm still technically like growing as an individual. So to be able to grow up in WWE is really, really difficult, but I'm glad that I'm taking the paths that I'm taking.
It's interesting too, because it's like you said, I mean, being 24, being 23 this time last year. So for you to take a year that is you having these speed bumps and learning things is frustrating as I know that that can be. I mean, it seems like this is something that sort of happens to everybody, that it's this frustration that happens of like, well, I was right there. I had this moment. And now it seems like I'm being put through these like weird obstacles. And it feels like why, like, it almost feels like a punishment to a degree, or like what is like, it's hard to not get in your head about that. But ultimately, it's all kind of for something, you know, like it all
Yeah.
leads to like you being a better performer, you having a different kind of confidence in yourself, to knowing your character a different way. It's so hard to wrap your head around that though when you're in the thick of it though. Did you feel that when you were in the thick of it?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm someone that really like prides themselves on how far they've come and like how mentally strong I've become over the years. And last year was really difficult for me, and it was hard for me to think and manage just living, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard, but I had to keep reminding myself that like life gets better and life gets worse, and it's a continuous roller coaster all the time, and that's just life. So if you stick out the hard times, like good times are on the horizon, and that's just what I had to keep reminding myself. And now I'm going to WrestleMania to face Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. So would you look
Hell
at
yeah. Hell
that?
yeah. How much did this COVID year have a part in that as well, of just like not being on the road, not knowing what is going on in general?
Yeah, that had a massive input, because like I was so busy before all of this. Like we were doing 2 road loops a month, which is like 4 days of straight wrestling. We were doing coconut shows here in Florida. We were doing Full Sail shows. We were doing so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have that sort of just all cut off, and then also not being able to go to a normal gym, like it was just so weird to me. Like my gym time is definitely a time where I sort of like, I don't want to say relax, I'm not relaxing, but like I'm mentally relaxing,
Mm-hmm.
and I de-stress, and it's like my happy place. So not having that, and not having all the shows where like I can have fun on the house shows and wrestle instead of being stressed for TV, like it was really affecting me, but we made it through.
We made it through. Fans are back. That's one thing, like, even just from like a fan perspective watching, I'm so excited to see what that's going to look like. So, you know, WWE is going to do things like big for this and just for the performers. Cause I mean, I know how hard it's been on everybody to be cooped up in the locker room and trying to kind of generate your own energy to like hype yourself up. That's got to be so hard.